Have you ever wished that there was just one product that you could go out on your lawn and spray all the weeds and it would just kill everything? I mean, sedges, grassy weeds, broadleaf weeds. I don't know that that product exactly exists, you know, and even a product that could use on warm season grasses and cool season grasses. I'm not sure that exists, but there are some that are pretty good. In this video, I want to test one of them out on some very tough weeds, on a number of different weeds, and just see what happens. And, you know, I think it's best just to see it on video, get it on tape. You know, you talk about with football players, just get it on tape, show them how good you are. Let's see this thing on the video, and we can make a decision by the end of the video. Is this product good on this particular weed or not this weed? So we're going to test it out on a lot of different weeds. So let me show you the product, we'll show you the weeds, we'll spray the weeds, and then we'll check back and see what kind of results we get. Today's video is sponsored by Graham Spray Equipment. You see my 400-gallon Graham spray tank on the back of my truck in the background. I've been rolling with this Graham spray rig for years, and it has been super reliable, and the guys at Graham are great and have taken great care of me. If you need a spray rig for your business, go to grahamse.com or give those guys a call. You're probably wondering what the name of the product is. Well, this isn't the only product I could have come up with that's pretty versatile, but this is one of them. And here it is, Dismiss NXT, active ingredients, carfentrazone and sulfentrazone. So Dismiss, when you might see other Dismiss products, Dismiss typically is the active ingredient sulfentrazone, but this one they mix carfentrazone in there, which is going to help us pick up some broadleaf weeds and maybe just be more effective in many ways. So I've already got it mixed up. Stuff like this, I don't mix this up in a Graham spray tank. It's going to be kind of expensive to do that, but it's one of the kind of products that I would keep in a 2-gallon handheld or maybe a 4-gallon backpack sprayer and can walk around spraying the weeds. Time frame of this video is in the summer. Not that you only have to use this in the summer, but I'm early in the morning, so I want to see a couple things. I want to see what kind of discoloration we get on the grass, but I'm more interested, I can live with a little bit of that. That doesn't bother me very much, but I'm curious. And then also more concerned of, more want to see how effective it is at controlling these weeds. So let's go take a look at some weeds and start spraying them. Now, I create a lot of YouTube videos, and one advantage I have right now is I've got multiple videos going at the same time, kind of in process. So there's a couple of videos I'm working on with specific grass types, or specific weed types, I should say, and I've sprayed Dismiss NXT. So some of them I've already sprayed, some others I still need to spray. So let's start out with a couple that I've already sprayed with Dismiss NXT, and we're going to observe the results on this video, and then we'll try it out on some new weeds that haven't been sprayed. And this video can also help you just identifying weeds, but this is a big clump of Dallas grass, very tough to control in the middle of the summer. I don't expect that it's gonna die, but I wanna see what happens and see what kind of, what kind of results we can get in a difficult time of year. So I've already sprayed this Dallas grass with Dismiss NXT, so be curious on that one. Another weed that I've already sprayed, and this is fairly young in the life cycle, but you can see here we've got crabgrass. Not all crabgrass is created equal. I'm not exactly sure which flavor this is, what variety I should say. It's not a food, and just see what happens with Dismiss NXT on crabgrass. Now let's go get some other weeds that maybe are a little bit easier to control, because these are going to be very challenging for Dismiss NXT. Well, I said easier weeds, but I'm not sure this one's going to qualify. This is Virginia buttonweed, which I've been told does not exist in Virginia and also does not die even when sprayed with Roundup. So very difficult to control weed, but I think we're going to get some pretty good results with NXT. So let's spray this one. All right, another weed that's going to be very tough to control, but I want to give it a chance, and this is, and I don't know of a better product to use in this situation, honestly, but this is goosegrass, and it grows in compacted soil. It's just, see it often on a putting green of a golf course, but this is what goosegrass looks like. Dismiss NXT is excellent on goosegrass. This is a little bit larger one, so we'll see if it's gonna die or not. And while I'm out here, I might go ahead and spray this too. It may look actually a little bit similar. This is called broom sedge. Broom sedge, I typically use blindside, but I'm curious to know if the Dismiss NXT will be effective on it as well. So let's spray the goosegrass and the broom sedge. And lastly, I've got a couple other weeds I've already sprayed. I want to see how Dismiss NXT works on the sedges. So I've got some yellow nutsedge, purple nutsedge, and kalinga. Let me show you those. I'm actually testing out several products on these different weeds, but here's some variety of kalinga that's growing all up in the yard. So I've already sprayed this one, so we'll observe it. And also got plenty of nutsedge to go around as well. We got both yellow nutsedge, which is this taller variety here, and then the purple nutsedge usually grows a little bit lower the ground as a darker colored leaf. So we'll test it out and see how well it's working on the yellow and purple. Both of these were sprayed yesterday, so we're going to be observing the results on these weeds. And lastly, we've got just a group of weeds here. We've got some kalinga, looks like some dog fennel. Right there, I believe what that is. Some other little broadleaf weeds. So just a smorgasbord. I wanted to check out Dismiss NXT effectiveness on some of these broadleaf weeds. All right, we got everything sprayed. Let's give it some time. We'll check back on the results. It's been about 6 days since I did the Dismiss NXT application on a number of weeds. Let's go over here and see what the weeds will look like, see what the results are showing us after 6 days. We'll probably check back at least one more time before the video's over. All right, showing this off on another video. This is Dismiss NXT versus kalinga. And I believe the results were there in just a couple of days. They were starting to discolor. You can see maybe a slightest bit of discoloration of the Bermuda grass, but look at that. Compare that with what didn't get sprayed. So pretty extreme results. I plan to mow the grass and see if it grows back or not. I'm not saying it's dead. I'm just saying we got the extreme results. Same thing with this one. The Dismiss NXT, even compared with some of the other products we're testing out, by far the most visible results. That's the sulfentrazone. This was on yellow and purple nutsedge. So you can see kind of the yellow nutsedge stand up taller, the purple is lower. Looks like we got fairly equal results on both. Again, I'll be curious to know how fast does it grow back, but as far as visible results, definitely there. All right, another one we wanted to look at. This was the goosegrass. Now, the problem I'm seeing right now, I think I picked too large of a specimen of goosegrass. I think the earlier you can get it, the better. Doesn't mean it's not working. I mean, it's discoloring it. But I think if I remember correctly, what it does, you get a real quick burn down. And if it's small enough, it may actually kill the plant. But in this situation, like it might kill that one. You see that? In this situation, I feel like what happened last time, if I remember, it turns it brown, but then new leaves start coming back, and it basically survives. So that may mean second application if needed, or it's just being realistic on what happens with the plant. So it is a good goosegrass product, but goosegrass is tough to kill with a post-emergent. So just wanted to show you what's going on with that. Now there's an example where maybe I sprayed a little bit too heavy, but you can see a little bit more discoloration in the Bermuda grass. And not that this is like great Bermuda here, but I can see where it discolored a little bit. This was that bundle of broadleaf weeds. I actually thought it would be a little bit faster on what I'm calling dog fennel there, but you can see some kalinga, some nutsedge in there that's, you know, doing its thing on that. Got there's another patch of kalinga, some kind of broadleaf there. So it's working on the broadleaves. Again, a lot of times, and this is the misunderstanding I think people have, we're not trying to perform a magic act where the weed literally just disappears. The other thing I've been asked before several times is, do we have to go pull up the dead weeds? No, the idea is the weed becomes so sick that when you mow the grass, it doesn't come back. Okay, so That's what we're going for. And then as your grass is fertilized and healthy things happen to your lawn, then the lawn fills in and the weed is gone, and it's less likely to come back because now you got thick, healthy turf and you're putting out your pre-emergent on time, things like that. Okay, so there's a lot of factors that go into this. But it's not a magician's act where you spray it and the weed literally vanishes, and no, you don't have to go hand pull it after it dies. It will go away if it's dead. If it's not dead, it may grow back. So just to clarify that, which may seem elementary, but I do get asked that from time to time. To be honest, I don't remember it. I think one of them I might have forgot to show on the video. It might have been this one. But this is foxtail, annual foxtail, and it seems to be working pretty well, to be honest with you. It's not dead. 6 days in. Just don't rush to conclusions, but initially getting some pretty good results on this annual foxtail. And I might have to go back and look at the original tape, but this is broom sedge. I can't remember if I sprayed it right beside the foxtail or if it's a different couple of broom sedge. If I sprayed this one, it looks like it's doing virtually nothing. So let me check around. Maybe it was a different one I sprayed. And lastly, we're checking out the Virginia buttonweed. Again, nearly impossible to kill in my understanding. I'm not sure how to get rid of it, but there are some products that work good. Blindside, Change Up are both pretty good products. This Miss NXT doing an okay job. Nothing to write home about, but it is some effectiveness there, so that's good to see. All right, let's give it a little bit more time. We'll check back on the results at least one more time and see what any conclusions we can draw. Well, it's time to wrap up the Dismiss NXT video. We've given it maybe 5 more days, so we're maybe 2 weeks after initial application. I'm not sure that the weeds are going to continue to deteriorate, so I want to just see what it looks like right now. We're about to get some rain, which I'm happy about. So let's check it out and see what the final results say. Okay, first up, we'll show you the Kalinga, because this was definitely one of the more impressive weeds that we looked at. And it just totally dominated. I mean, just wipe it off the face of the earth. I'm not saying it won't ever come back. Maybe it will. But you compare what was sprayed with what was not sprayed, you get that sprayed, that was not sprayed. So excellent, excellent results on the Kalinga. And, you know, if it caused some discoloration, it seemed to go away very quickly on this Bermuda lawn. What about on the nut sedge? Let's see what it did on that. All right, not quite as dramatic results on the yellow and purple nut sedge, but definitely discolor it. This was not cut with the lawnmower. This was cut with the lawnmower. So you can see you're gonna get that quick burn down action, hopefully suppress the growth of it. Not as dominant on yellow and purple, but certainly a dominant product to use on your Kalinga. What about the goosegrass? You know, we saw last time it was already starting to come back, and it's a hard weed to control. You get it when it's early, but let's see what happened. And again, it looks kind of similar to what it did before. You see it definitely worked, but unfortunately it's already showing some green that's starting to bounce back from the initial shock of it. But next to it, you know, we hit this broom sedge, if I remember correctly, and decent results on that. I'm afraid it's going to survive as well. But, you know, not a bad option on either one of these, but both of these are very, very tough weeds to control. Let's check out this little clump of broadleaf weeds. You can see, again, some Kalinga mixing up in there, and it just dominated that. The broadleaf, you know, not so much. I thought the carfentrazone would do more on that. So not like it didn't do anything. You can see, and I'm not sure if that was mowed. It might not come back. But just outstanding on Kalinga. I mean, just unbelievable. But not like overly impressive. I mean, you can see, you know, some broadleaf weeds here. Look at that, you know, that, and that. Not as great on that dog fennel, if I'm getting that right, the right weed there. But anyway, okay results on that. Again, continuing to show itself strong on the Kalinga. See some clouds coming up in the back here. Hit a little thunder rolling. Got to wrap this up soon. Let's check out the foxtail. Here it is, and again, I think I forgot to show when I initially sprayed this, but pretty good results on the foxtail. I can't tell that it's gonna die.
And again, I use the Celsius Uncertainty as a great products combination on this. I don't know if it's more the Celsius or the Certainty or the combo, but this Miss NXT, not a bad option at all either on this annual foxtail. You can compare that with one that hasn't been sprayed, much healthier. You can see this one's grown up so tall here. So certainly suppressed the growth, possibly killing it, but I'm not going to call it dead just yet. And the last one we have here is Virginia buttonweed. Very, very tough weed to kill. I don't know if you can kill it. Unfortunately, I believe I can already see it starting to bounce back. You see that light green right there? It's already coming back. Certainly discolored it. Certainly did a number on it, but met its match with Virginia buttonweed. I like Blindside a lot on this. I like Change Up are two good products you could also try, but this Miss NXT did give it a fight. Ultimately, I think it will lose the battle.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jason Creel. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to get into weed control and fertilization like me, go to lawncarelife.com. That's where you'll find the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy. That's mostly for people with warm season grasses that want to start a weed control and fertilization business. Oh, that's also where you'll find information about the Lawn Care Life Conference. We got a storm blowing in. I got to get out of the weather. We'll see you guys in the next video.